recording. I'll just edit that part out. Dr. Sanchez, bienvenido. As you have already gathered from this conference that we're having relating to the American GI Forum, the state conference here in Austin, Texas today, a lot of important issues have come up, a lot of the issues that you've already heard about in other conferences, but there's a lot of what Dr. Gonzalez in Houston has talked to me about with regards to your pioneer and efforts in conjunction with Dr. Hector P. Gonzalez's work in the formation of the American GI.
Hector P. Garcia.
Hector P. Garcia, yes, sir. Let me begin by asking you, tell me about some of those unknown facts about the formation of the American GI Forum. It's very important to talk about the mission that Hector P. Garcia envisioned and actually launched in 1948, correct?
48, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me start by commenting on something which you commented. You addressed me by doctor. Technically, that appears to be incorrect, but it's not, okay? Because we lawyers have been conferred a JD.
That is correct.
Degree, a doctor of jurisprudence.
Yes, sir.
So in effect, we are doctor.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we should not leave the misconception that I would be a doctor of medicine. I'm not a doctor of medicine.
I understand.
Okay.
Yes, sir. That's why I use the word doctor, because I know you have a doctorate in jurisprudence.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah. Well, then you're aware of it. That's very good. I congratulate you. The general population in the country is not aware of that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But to go back to your basic question about the causes for the organization, the initial organization of the forum by my friend Dr. Hector P. Garcia of Corpus Christi. He came back, Hector came back battle-scarred, from World War II. I was not sent to any kind of a battlefront in World War II. In fact, I was sent to the Main Navy Department building in Washington, D.C., where I had duty with U.S. Naval Intelligence. Okay. But it takes several 100,000, several million people working together to fight a conflict just like World War II. So you got to have people doing various things, as in my case, you see. Okay. Now, but to go back to your basic question, why was it organized? Well, Hector came back after getting battle-scarred himself in Europe. He came back to the Corpus Christi area and saw that our people were just in as bad a shape as they were socioeconomically and educationally as when he left several years before. You see, there was the same resistance by the conservative bloc, however it's composed and wherever, you see. Mostly your conservative element is the one that resists any kind of social change, or most any kind of social change. The element on the right of a conservative bloc is the one that resists, okay? And now Hector and Bob Sanchez, Hector found a lot of resistance in Corpus Christi, and I found a lot of resistance in the Rio Grande Valley of Texas, okay? The conservative bloc was just resisting us at every turn on socioeconomic and educational progress for our people. And so we started organizing. We had the mechanism to do it because Hector started the American GI Forum, and it was a name which was very acceptable, GI. First of all, the organization, our organization starts with the word American, okay? Proud of it. We're proud to be Americans, well, hell yes. And then GI at the time, that was quite acceptable. American GI Forum, a forum was a gathering, see. So, yes, the organization took off, and it took off big, and it wasn't difficult to organize to go into a community, any community, large or small, and organize a chapter, because there was lots of resistance, socioeconomic and educational resistance to any kind of progress on the part of our Hispanic people. Okay, so that's how it was. Hector found it easy to start organizing in Corpus Christi, and the rest of us in our individual communities.
So those socioeconomic challenges that you just mentioned, Doctor, that were prevalent there in South Texas, Corpus Christi, Rio Grande area, they were a microcosm of what was going on throughout the South.
Everywhere. And up east and west and north and midwest and everywhere.
Okay. So how would you describe the organizational model that Dr. Hector P. Garcia used that became effective?
Hector was a very persuasive guy. Very, very persuasive. And the thing is that people knew that he was right. You know, he was saying, well look where they have us. They're not accepting some of our kids in the ordinary schools, in the ordinary so-called Anglo schools.
Right.
They were not accepting them there. They were not accepting some people in ordinary hospitals and ordinary socioeconomic institutions. There was discrimination, no question about it. See? So we found it relatively easy to organize if you had the gall, the guts, the facility of language. You could gather people and organize them, no question.
So would you characterize Dr. Hector P. Garcia, the founder of the American GI Forum, as a leader or an organizer, or both?
Both what? What do you mean?
Was he more of an organizer, or was he more of a leader? Which do you think outweighed the other, or was he both?
Both.
Okay.
No question about it.
Okay.
In fact, the fact that he was by nature a leader would make him an organizer if he had the soul, the heart, and the stomach, the guts to organize, because we met a lot of resistance.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the conservative, mostly the conservative Anglo element, but some of the Hispanic element too, resisted us, and they had whispering campaigns behind our backs, you see. Don't listen to those rabble-rousers, that sort of thing. And it hurt hell out of us in the very beginning. It took a while to get accepted. Some of our own Hispanic element in the Rio Grande Valley took years to come around and find out that we were legitimate people, that we really wanted to do something for the community and for the Hispanic element. A lot of the Catholic priests and other ministers of the Bible, Protestant ministers, were very supportive. As a general rule, they were very supportive, and that helped us quite a bit. That helped us quite a bit.
Okay, so going back to the organizational model that Dr. Hector P. Garcia was using, it was focused on data, it was focused on the facts that were affecting the Hispanic GIs, is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. The Hispanic GIs who came back battle-scarred from Europe and from the South Pacific, to find that it was still a backward society that they were coming back to, after having served in an integrated society, which is the military. You see,
Right.
and spilled blood and guts out there. They would not accept the situation that they found when they came back.
Such as Felix Longoria.
Just as the Felix Longoria case.
Right.
Oh, there were many incidents, you know, are not recorded. But we had to file lawsuits, you know, back and forth. Those were real bread and butter lawsuits, not like those that some friend of ours is filing right now. I suppose they have some merit. At least they think so. Okay, fine. So be it.
Dr. Sanchez, another question. Very few people are privy to what motivated Dr. Hector P. Garcia, because obviously he was creating something unprecedented in South Texas, the formation of the American GI Forum. But in your view, how did he get the motivation to do this type of work, to initiate such a monumental task?
To come back home and find inequality. When in school, your history and government teachers taught equal rights throughout, see? And he found out that we did not have equal rights. That in a democratic society, like we profess we were and still do, and are, we didn't have that. So we were fighting for it.
Right. Okay. Something that I consider phenomenal within the Familia Garcia was that 4 of them received a doctorate degree.
Yes.
Dr. Hector P. Garcia himself being a doctor in medicine, right? But he also faced some unprecedented challenges even being a doctor. For example, I understand that even when he tried to prescribe medicine, they would not fill his prescription, so he turned into starting his own pharmacy. What can you share with us about those early struggles as a medical doctor?
Not only in that regard, but he felt some resistance even in hospital services for some poor Hispanic people. See? Now, fortunately, sir, you got to fight, and when you fight with heart, eventually you're going to find some change. Look, Corpus Christi has recently dedicated a whole wing of one of their big hospitals to Dr. Hector P. Garcia. You know, where in the beginning they didn't want him. See?
Yep.
Now a whole wing of it is named after him.
Se los echó la mesa.
Thankfully, there's been progress. No question about it. There's been lots of progress. Thank God.
What hospital is this, sir?
It's the my God, not the Spawn. What's the? I don't know the hospitals in Corpus Christi. It's the one away from near the Ocean Drive. It's on the fringe of the so-called well-to-do area and the Hispanic poorer area. I don't know the name of it. I don't think it's a Spawn. It's some other.
We'll research it.
Yeah.
Within the Hippocratic Oath that medical doctors take, there's one section where the needy, the poor, the ones who can't pay for medical services are supposed to get those medical services from medical doctors. And Dr. Hector P. Garcia embraced that oath.
He sacrificed like you wouldn't believe.
Tell us about some of those things that you saw, sir.
He would go sometimes, you know, we would call. he answered house calls. You know, when doctors of medicine were getting away from that, he would go to houses, and poor houses, and awfully, awfully poor houses. People dying of tuberculosis there is the saddest damn thing you can imagine. He'd go in there and try to help them. Didn't charge them a penny.
At all hours.
Oh yeah, and he was a dynamic guy. He was extraordinarily dynamic. Thank God that we had an Hector Garcia in our midst.
So what was that main ingredient or ingredients within the Garcia family that we know historically have risen to the top in terms of medical doctors and getting PhDs and so forth? What was that ingredient? What mix did they have within the family?
I attribute it basically to their father, what was it, Don Antonio, I think it was. Was it Don Antonio? Anyway, he was a Mexican man from Mexico. He was addressed here and there by professor, so he was involved in basic education. His father was. Okay. His mother was a very noble lady too. You know, Dr. Garcia's mother. And the father instilled in them in education. I mean, he was a persuasive old man. I mean, I never met him, but I knew from Hector and his brothers, all of whom were friends of mine, that the old man would tell him, "Usted va a ser doctor." And by God, they came through. They came through. Yeah. That's the way it was. So.
And the father was from humble beginnings?
Oh yeah.
See.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but they had a lot of heart.
Well, let's shift, Doctor, because I just have a few more questions. Let's shift to what you've been hearing at this conference today with regards to recruitment and getting new memberships. Hector P. Garcia certainly had a model that was very effective in doing that in those beginning years. What are some of those strategies that were used in the early years that can help today in terms of recruitment?
Well, of course, persuasiveness is one, and that you have to have. You can't learn persuasiveness. Hector was a very persuasive gentleman, full of heart. You see. And you know, the right kind of heart. He saw injustices and tried to correct them. Okay. He tried inequality and he tried for equality. These are things that you're taught in high school, and not put to practice for the most part. Well, they were not. It's far better now, sir. No question. It's far better now. There are more subtle, underhanded ways of our conservative element to resist some of our needs, some of our desires for our people. So in a sense, discrimination is still there.
Okay. So institutional racism as well?
Yes, yes. And I'll give you an example. Very palpable example. The school dropout problem is a serious situation. We have been fighting it in McAllen, my own home city, okay, in my own county down in the Rio Grande Valley. Progress has been made, thank God. Yes, sir. But we have been fighting it. It's been a serious problem because here you have kids who drop out of school in the 8th grade, 9th grade, they drop out. They don't finish, they don't even finish high school. So they'll never qualify for college, you see. Right. And education is our freedom, and freedom should be everybody's business. You know, that's our motto.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, forum motto.
Okay. Well, I just want to end with this last question, Dr. Sanchez. You mentioned that there was a marriage that took place. Hector P. Garcia was involved with your family. Can you kind of give us some insight on that? A best man, correct?
He was my best man at my wedding. Yes, sir.
What year was that, sir?
That was in 1940, wait a minute, 1954. He organized it for him in 48 when I joined, but it didn't get on the map until the Felix Longoria incident 2 years later, around 1950, and I married in early 1954. By that time, Hector and I had become friends, and I saw it fit to ask him to be my best man. He dropped whatever he was doing, and he came over to McAllen with his wife, his Italian wife, beautiful lady, fine lady, and who, by the way, had a PhD in literature. That's what they called it in Italy.
Letras.
Yeah. And he served as my best man.
And your marriage took place where in
McAllen, at Our Lady of Sorrows, a Catholic church, which is still my parish. Yeah, Monsignor Gustavo Gus Barrera, who has a master's degree in divinity.
Divinity studies.
Good man. Good man. Yes, sir. We're very fortunate to have him as pastor. Yes, sir.
Okay. Tiene su casa el señor Sánchez, doctor Sánchez, en Houston, con la familia Medel, y le deseamos lo mejor a su familia, que llegue sano y salvo a su casa cuando termine la conferencia.
Igual le deseo igual, maestro Meléndez. Medel, maestro Medel. Sí. ¿Usted es de dónde?
Soy natural de Houston.
¿De Houston?
Sí, señor.
Era hombre natural de Houston. Hacía muchos años que no me presentaba con alguien natural de Houston.
Y mi papá también nació en Houston.
No, hombre,
sí,
ya nomás.
Sí, sí, sí.
Pues los felicito.
Gracias, señor.
Y que Dios esté con ustedes y siga con ustedes.
Somos del casco antiguo del barrio El Alacrán.
Ah, El Alacrán.
Sí.
Sí, qué bien, ¿no?
Ajá. Sí.
Qué bien, los felicito.
Sí.
Y que sigan bien.
Pues son palabras humildes, doctor, pero le quiero dar gracias por todos los esfuerzos que ha hecho para el American GI Forum, tratar de mantener esta familia, porque en una forma se puede considerar como una familia, ¿verdad?
Oh, sí.
Mantenerlos juntos y pues yo y el doctor González haremos lo posible para ayudarlo donde podamos.
Tienen que persuadir a los jóvenes.
Sí, señor.
Ya los viejos, ya nos estamos haciendo viejos, nos estamos muriendo. Necesitamos elemento joven, nuevo.
Sí, señor.
¿Okay? Y necesitan persuadirlos, que le entren a la cosa. Métanle, porque necesitan valor para esto. Cuando habla usted de valor, dice, oye, no, pues yo no soy gallina. Yo debo de tener valor.
Sí, sí, sí. Ajá.
Yes, sir. No, éntrele duro. Éntrele duro. Y Dios lo ayuda. Dios lo ayuda. En la ciudad nuestra, en McAllen, tenemos un capítulo activo. Cada junta que tenemos lo que le llaman quórum. Quórum. Tenemos que tener 8 socios presentes para tener una junta oficial. Si no hay 8 no puedes tener junta oficial.
Okay.
Nosotros lo tenemos cada mes. De vez en cuando no completamos los 8, pero generalmente ahí estamos.
¿Y cómo se llama el sucursal de GI Forum allí en McAllen?
Va muy bien. Va muy bien. Ya tenemos años. O sea, ahorita le estamos peleando al asunto del school dropout. De los que se salen del high school, no acaban high school. Ese asunto lo hemos estado peleando. Y el superintendente, caray, que es mexicoamericano, y es de aquí de Austin, originalmente. Tiene su doctorado aquí de la Universidad de Texas, que es la escuela mía. Y fue de la escuela de Héctor García también. Okay. Muy receptivo, muy ayudador en ese tema del school dropout problem.
Mira.
Y estamos progresando. Estamos progresando.
Entonces le están dando apoyo a la comunidad del señor.
Sí.
Okay.
Sí, señor. Vamos muy bien. Y va él muy bien. Gracias a Dios.
Bueno, pan duro, dientes agudos.
Sí, señor. Ándale, maestro.
Sí,
Le
señor.
voy a hablar de maestro a usted porque
Sí,
es
señor.
maestro
Gracias.
para
Gracias.
mí.
Sí, sí, señor.
Sí, señor.
Ahí estamos humildemente. Mira, el calzado que trae el señor. Híjole. Era zapatero yo, señor.
Mire, este saco
Ajá.
es lo que le llaman tailor-made.
Ajá.
Mire la marca.
Ajá.
La marca reza Bob Sánchez. Cuando
hecho,
yo empecé, cuando todavía estamos en el aire, ¿o no?
Sí, todavía.
Cuando yo empecé a ejercer leyes,
Ajá.
tenía un par de zapatos decentes y un traje decente para ir a la corte,
Ujú,
para aparecer, acontecer en la sala de corte.
ujú,
Es lo que tenía.
ujú.
Hoy día, a base de puro trabajo, sacrificio, estudio, porque un abogado tiene que seguir estudiando todos los días, cada semana, todos los días, leyendo y cuánto,
Híjole.
y peleándole.
Ujú,
A base de eso, hoy día tengo como 20 trajes,
ujú.
de todos hechos a mano, para mí, con mi nombre.
Mira.
Zapatos, tengo como 18 pares de botas,
Ujú,
porque me gusta mucho la cacería, caballos y cosas de esas.
ujú,
De botas nada más,
ujú,
¿ok? A base de puro estudio y puro trabajo.
ujú.
Y así le pido a mi gente que sigan,
Ok.
así les pido.
Pues he oído el dicho que entre los sastres no se cobran remiendas, entre los abogados también, ¿o no?
Ahí vamos, ahí vamos, ahí
Sí,
vamos. Sí,
qué bonito
señor.
calzado, mira, profe. Híjole.
Así
Cap
es.
toes, clásico cap toes, ¿eh?
Yeah.
Ya, ya. Bueno, yo no le quito más tiempo,
Thank you, sir.
doctor. Sí, señor.
Thank you.
Sí.